Hello, you have arrived at this video most likely because you have consumed some form of Viking media, whether that's the Vikings TV show, Vikings Valhalla, Last Kingdom, played Assassin's Creed Valhalla, God of War Ragnarok, all those things. This video is for you. I really wanted to make a video for people getting into the faith for the first time to give them a starting ground on where to go. So my name is Jacob. I'm a Norse Pagan. This is the Wisdom of Odin, a channel devoted to my journey. I mean, you can go back 2.5, almost 3 years and watch my first video and go see how far it's come, see what I've learned, see the early beginnings of what became and is now a nonprofit religious community where hundreds of people around the world get together and honor the old ways. So I've tried to condense this down into 5-ish tips / pieces of advice for you to get into it. I'm assuming you have a small knowledge base. You know who Odin is, you know who Thor is. You might know a little bit of the history. And so I'm kind of going at it from that angle. And to my returning subscribers that may be watching this, I will say maybe this can be a nice reminder to keep it simple because, I mean, even for me today, my offering isn't this big, explosive thing. It's very small and very simple, but also still meaningful to me. So as far as the first piece of advice I have for you, if you're getting into this faith for the first time, trying to figure out where to go, I really recommend going ahead and purchasing a poetic and a prose Edda. This is our source material. This is Norse mythology that's it. That's Norse mythology right there. And if you can buy Neil Gaiman's, basically his interpretation of it, you get a more modern lens to these stories. But at the end of the day, I think it's important to know where all this is coming from. And I think you don't have to fully understand it. Trust me, the first time I read these books, I was like, man, what is happening here? But I think, the more you read it, the more you go through it, I've read them a dozen times now, the more you're going to get out of them. And that kind of leads us to my next piece of advice. If you really want to get into this faith, it's pretty simple. Like, a lot of people ask me, how do you convert? Like, is there a baptism or is there a process? Not really. And just recently I read in a book that in order to be considered a heathen according to the Icelandic people, it was simply to practice heathenry. And so go outside and talk to the gods. You can do it inside too, but I recommend doing it outside. So if you want to connect to Odin or Thor or even Loki, I'll say it. Go outside. Odin, All-Father, I wish to grow a deeper relationship with you, O wise one, O wielder of spears, lover of wisdom, whatever. And that's why I'm saying get the source material in there, and then you can start kind of calling out to them in various different names, and start building that connection to say, hey, I want to learn more from you. I want to grow more wise. I want to wander. I'm a warrior. I want to go to Valhalla. If you're actually a warrior. Again, I've covered this before, but not all of us are warriors, and that's okay. I follow Odin for his wisdom aspect and his wandering aspect, for instance. Or today, like the offering I'm actually about to show you is to Balder, because I feel connected to Balder on beautiful days like this, and so I'm going to give him an offering of thanks, because the few times that he's appeared to me in this way, it's just a wonderful and amazing day I never forget. Which just happens to be kind of our third thing here. Give an offering to them. So don't just make it a one-way road. Don't just make it a conversation. Let's move it forward. Let's start exchanging gifts, which is a very important thing to the Scandinavian and Viking people, was exchanging gifts for gifts, exchanging happiness for happiness, equal sharing. And so after a while, you start feeling that connection to a certain deity, give them an offering. This offering can be alcohol, which is very common, mead, beer. I brought whiskey today. It can be tobacco. It can be, food, biodegradable stuff. And that's kind of like my main rule. As long as it doesn't harm the environment and it's going to degrade naturally, that's probably the best offering to give. Now, you can give other things such as letters, notes, poems. I've given that as well. I burn them for the gods. I just light them on fire and I read it to them. I have an entire video covering offerings to the gods, but really, keep it simple. Apple juice. You can do cider. Do fresh cider. Great way to start. And then just take that moment. Call out to that god. Say, hey, I brought you a gift. I need help with this, or I'm just thankful. Pour it out, leave it there, and say thank you for your time. And then just spend moments, spend time with that god, spend time with that deity, or something that's important to me, the land spirits, your local land spirits, or even your ancestors. You really can kind of fill that, who you're giving to with just about anyone in the faith. Now, I am just going to show you, again, I've been doing this for a while. I've given a lot of really big offerings, but I really just want to show you a small little offering that I'm giving today to show you that it really is deceptively simple. Odin, husband of Nana. Beautiful one, indestructible one. Thank you so much for those beautiful things in Germany and returning home to know that I was not alone. From your clouds to your sun. Thank you so much for your warmth, oh dear Balder. I brought an offering for you. offering of whiskey, golden as the sun, for my homeland, to honor this beautiful day. Thank you. Tell you, Balder. See what I mean? Like, it's really, like, I feel like a lot of people try to overcomplicate this faith or overthink it, when in reality, it's a very simple relationship between you and the natural world, the spiritual world, the gods above, and the ancestors below. Now, my fourth piece of advice here is, let's say you give that offering and something magical does happen. All of a sudden you feel a connection. You feel your heart beating faster and all these things. Then I really recommend writing it down, recording it in a video. That way you can reflect on it later and you can kind of watch your journey grow. And then eventually you are going to hit a spot where you don't feel the gods. Life's going to get in the way. You're going to feel in despair. But then you have that writing. Go back. Say, oh, wow, I had this experience with Odin or Balder or Thor or Freya. And you can reflect on it, feel that experience again. And I know that's something that even my own videos, going back and rewatching them, remembering experiences I've had while recording videos has been so important to my practice. And that way, you know, when the gods kind of go off and do their own thing, you don't feel entirely alone. See what I mean? This is very simple advice. I mean, for real, I mean, that kind of brings me to number 5, which is don't let it get too dramatic. I mean, it can be very easy to get really into the deep end really quick. But again, this is a lifelong practice. This is meant to be your entire life. And so, you know, just don't try to give 20 offerings a day. Don't try to give every single day. Don't try to give these massive offerings all the time. It's a small exchange here and there. You know, you have your holy tides, your equinoxes, your solstices, or whatever you choose to follow, whether that's the traditional holidays that we may kind of know about or the new kind of holidays that are followed now. You know, we really only gather to give as a community 4 times a year. You know, we give around the solstices and the equinoxes, and then we all come together, we give big offerings. And for the most part, that's where I reserve my big offerings. And then I just have these small moments, like I've had here today, where I give these small little offerings when I'm just thankful. So it doesn't, you don't have to go into it guns blazing. Enjoy it. Take your time. Go with the flow. And that's, I think, once you finally get that flow state of you really are just experiencing religion in the natural world and how humans kind of are supposed to experience it, it's a really amazing thing. Keep it simple, but then keep that foundation, then let it build. Read more books, find some more obscure writings, talk to other people, learn from others experiences, talk to different deities, explore things, research, start building. You know, this video is not supposed to be like, here's the religion, that's it. This is a foundation for you, and I hope you take it, and I hope it helps you, because I know this is stuff that when I started this is what I was looking for, and that's why I started this channel, is so I can give advice like this, so others getting into the faith for the first time, whether that's just from natural exploration, or if it's from the Vikings TV show, or any of the Viking media out there. But ultimately, thank you so very much for watching this video and joining me here on this beautiful day. I hope this video was helpful for you. And if you like the content here, think about subscribing. I share a wide variety of content here about Norse paganism and the world beyond. I travel to beautiful places like this to show you and keep the videos interesting. And if you enjoyed this content even more and you want to join our Discord community or watch some community live streams or get early access videos, I do have a Patreon. Think about supporting me there. It's the way I'm able to do this full time, and I couldn't do this without the community support. Last thing I'll say here is if you are looking to join our community, if you're looking to get involved in a gathering, we are a nonprofit religious organization now, which means we have a website. So that website is down below as well. Head on over there. We keep all of our gatherings posted there as they come up, so you can email our fellowship leaders and possibly attend an event. They're really an amazing time. They're usually weekend-long events with food, feasting, drinking, you know, celebrations, rituals, games, festivities. They're really fun, and honestly, the heart and soul of this channel. So I hope to see you at a gathering here soon. Otherwise, thank you once again, and best of luck on your journey, worshiping and honoring these old ways.